It's your what? It's your what?
My signiversary.
Your anniversary?
Yes, sir.
Your birthday.
Check. We are in the building. What's going on, everybody? It's your man, Simeon Henderson, a.k.a. Mr. Chicago. And I am in the building with the one and the only, the Chicago Fly Guy.
What's up, Shy City?
It's going down, baby boy. So this is the Simeon Henderson Show with the Chicago Fly Guy. And this is Real Talk. We're happy to be back. I checked in with you guys. Me and the Fly Guy was on last week. I was out of town. I've been doing a little jet setting from California to Memphis to Arkansas, acting, teaching, doing the philanthropy work. And it's just a blessing to just be able to move around.
It ain't easy being Simeon Henderson.
You know what? I'm going to tell you, it's so funny. My big brother, Earl, he's like, you in the studio today or you remote? I said, man, I'm remote. But I love being in the studio. So all you people out there on Instagram Live, Facebook Live, IntellectualRadio.com, iHeartRadio, we are in the building. And I have to say this. I didn't know this, but I found out that my big brother, Earl, who runs Intellectual Radio, and he puts the podcast up. And the first podcast, it went about 2,000 people the first night. Yeah. I didn't even realize it until I looked on Earl's page and I was like, oh, wow, we getting some traction. But here's the key. When you want success, you have to stay faithful and focused. You have to stay consistent and committed. I've been doing the Simeon Henderson Show now, Earl, for how long? At least 6 years. At least longer than that. But the key is this. You have to stay at it, guys. Whatever it is you're trying to do in life, wherever you're trying to go, I need you to stay focused and I need you not to give up. So if you want to call in and you want to be on the show, you want to get in on the talk, we actually have actor Harold Dennis in the building with us today. And you can call in live at 708-223-8953. That's 708-223-8953. Fly Guy always laughs at me. I can't remember that number to save my life. But here we go. Let's get it going. I want to start off with topic number one. And we're going to have the Chicago Fly Guy kick it off. So we're going to be talking about some things today. And these are real situations, real life things. And I want you guys to tune in. So all my people, I know I got some people from Chicago, some people from South Carolina, some people from St. Martin, different places all over the world. Thank you guys for coming in. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you guys share, like, and make sure you call in as we get into this conversation. And then we're going to talk to our brother, Harold Dennis. Okay? So, without further ado, I need the Chicago Fly Guy to hit us with the first topic.
What's up, people? So, this is Real Talk, the intellectual podcast. And so, we're talking about living pretentious versus living your truth. Now, living pretentious versus living your truth has a lot to deal with the culture of social media. We've all been on social media. When you're on social media and you're behind the camera, you get the opportunity to be whoever you want to be. We often say we live in our best life, but are we living our best pretentious life or are we living our best authentic life? I think that it's easier, Simeon, to live your best authentic life. I think we should live out loud. We should live our truth. Why be phony?
But I'm glad you asked that question. There's a lot of people out there. I'm talking to you people out there. Now, I can say this, and I can say it with a clear conscience, because I've been doing my show for at least 7-8 years before it was popular. Am I right, Earl? Before podcasts got popular, before TikTok, before Instagram, before all of them started cracking, I had my little black behind in the studio. All the different locations, starting from Earl's living room, down to downstairs, down to the big studios. I've been here doing this. A lot of people hide behind the camera. You know how they say you get beer muscles? Some
Right.
people get that strength, that tenacity, that gall to just say whatever they want. And the thing is this. It's okay if you're doing it in the right way. So many people are not being true. So many people are being fake. So many people are being pretentious. And I'm just telling the truth. One thing about me, I always played it always played it safe. But I think it's time for us to talk about what's real. And so, guys, if you're going to come on social media, if you're going to talk, if you're going to do different things, be who you are. Don't be fake. Don't be pretentious. Be true. So that's my 2 cents.
Now, my experience.
What do you guys think?
My experience with that was, I was on the social media Clubhouse site.
Okay.
And Clubhouse started out as an exclusive site. You had to be invited on.
Yep.
I received an invitation, joined, went in the rooms. In every room you went on, there was a person in that room that said they could make you a millionaire by Thursday. Everybody was the greatest entrepreneur. Everybody was doing big things. But that's not true. That's a false narrative. Now, don't get me wrong. People are gifted, and I know that we have our talent. But social media is a platform really for those in that capacity, I will say. Not all of social media, but for those types of characters to live a life that they don't ordinarily have a platform for. So we have the luxury, Simeon, of having a microphone in front of us almost on a daily basis.
Right.
And so whatever concerns us or whatever is going on in the world or among society, we get to tap into that. I've learned that social media is a place for people to vent. Yeah. It's a place for people to mask. Yeah. It's a place for people to play pretend. And so I encourage you, this is Real Talk. Once again, the intellectual podcast. Be empowered to live if you want to live your best life, if you're out there and you define yourself as living your best life, live your best life and give the world the best version of you, but give the world the best authentic version of you. Whoever you are, whatever gifts you have, God gifted those talents in you. Yeah. And he instilled that, and he's trusting you that you're going to do right by it. That's all I got.
And now I'm going to pass the collection plate because the fly guy has just preached.
Man, you know, I'm empowered. That's what we do at Intellectual Radio. We empower.
So guys, everybody out there, what's going on? I just got to give a shout out. Always got to give a shout out to IntellectualRadio.com and iHeartRadio. And please call in. I need some people to call in at 708-223-8953. Tell me what you're thinking. Tell us what you're thinking about this. And I want to go into another topic.
Tell us who you are on social media.
Please. Everybody that's tuning in, I'm making sure that I acknowledge you guys periodically. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys have questions, please make sure you say something. I see somebody saying, hi, Simeon. Hey, Sheldon. Hey. Okay.
What's going on?
Make sure you guys tune in. So here we go. Let's keep going. So the next topic is real talk about generational wealth, all right, and financial literacy. Are your affairs in order? Do you have a power of attorney? Do you have a trust doc, will doc, avoid probate? Come on, man. I'm about to go into this because black people, we don't think this is important sometimes. And that's going to be a whole nother conversation, but we're going to go to this. So you're talking about generational wealth.
Yes.
So you have to think about what you're doing. You want to build your credit.
Yes.
You want to start saving. You want to start investing.
Yes.
Because you want to be able to put up money for your children's children.
Exactly.
Because that's a biblical thing, right? And then you talk about financial literacy. I have this class that I teach, Fly Guy. It's called How Increasing Your Mindset Increases Your Wealth.
Okay.
You have to understand, if you have a poverty mindset, you're going to walk in poverty. If you have a low the bar, below the bar mentality, you're going to stay below the bar. Can I get some help from the people out there? Tell me if I'm talking right, because if you're not doing the things that you need to do to be successful, success will elude you. And it all comes with believing in yourself, right?
You have to. And Sam, we had the pleasure of being a part of the Black Wall Street event.
Yes.
So the Black Wall Street event is an annual community event actually hosted in the historic Woodlawn community. The Woodlawn community is historic because that's the community Emmett Till lived in. The Lorraine Hansberry home is there. And Woodlawn was pivotal in the black experience in the early days. So we know that in the early 1920s, there was the Tulsa experienced, and there was a massacre because there was black businesses thriving and flourishing, entrepreneurs and businesses. And so what we are empowering you to do, to talk a little bit more in depth about having your affairs in order. A power of attorney is something that you want to have to govern the affairs of loved ones. It can be property, it can be health care. If something happens, God forbid, we plan for the expected, but we never plan for the unexpected. And that's why this conversation is so pivotal and imperative, because we have to make preparation. The power of attorney is alive as long as the person that you have power of attorney over is alive. When that person passes and transitions, the power of attorney passes and transitions with them, which means you should have a trust. A trust document is a legally bound document that is drawn up by an attorney that states who gets what. If your family member has property, whatever assets, whether it's monetary, whether it's in kind, the trust will state how things are going to go. We as families, we often get into controversy and confrontations with one another. When somebody died, when Big Mama died, we think we gonna get the bakery. We think we get the laundromat. We think we get the 3 flats.
But we don't even have the money to bury them. We have to do a GoFundMe, pass around a plate, and things like that.
Which is why this is pivotal. Because if it goes to probate, you have to prove to the state that you're entitled. And that's a very difficult task to do.
I have a question for the people. How many people have an attorney? I have an attorney, guys. I have an attorney. And it's there's power in that. Like if I got pulled over by the police or if something happens, Earl, I say, you know what? I'm about to call my lawyer. And it's amazing how people straighten up, Harold Dennis, when you tell them you're about to call your lawyer.
Yep, he's right here on my wrist.
When they tell you, it's amazing. So if you guys don't have a lawyer, I can teach you how to get one at an affordable price. You can pay either $360 an hour, or I can teach you how to pay $360 for a whole year. Yes, I can do that. Hit me on the inbox. That's what this is about. It's about helping the people and doing something. So as we talk,
empowerment with education.
As we talk, guys, I want to divert. I want to go. I want to. I always do this. I always do this to the fly guy. I always go off script.
Yes.
So we talked a little bit about living pretentious, living your truth. We talked about financial literacy, financial wealth, and things like that. Let's get into a couple of real topics, some things that's going on right now. Fly guy, I always, when something is heavy on me, I always have to get at it. I'm looking at social media, right? I'm looking at the news. I'm looking at social media. Earl, you're in entertainment, you're in radio. You can't miss it. There's so much going on, man, with the people. Whether they're talking about P. Diddy, Jay-Z, Beyonce, no matter who they're talking, excuse me, guys, no matter who they're talking about, there's so much going on. There's so much going on. We have to understand and know that, first of all, I hate seeing the demise or the tearing down of anybody. If someone does something and they get caught or whatever, they should do the crime. They do the crime, they do the time. But I don't take joy and pleasure in watching people crumble, if that makes sense.
But that's your integrity.
I'm talking about me.
Right.
I'm talking about me.
But you can't project that on others.
I'm talking about me. I said me. I didn't say you shouldn't. I said I don't.
Well, the people on social media might.
Well, yeah, but my thing is this.
Because people like drama, and they thrive off of that.
And the drama is huge right now. We're talking about, there's videotapes and sound bites surfacing.
Of Homeland Security?
Invading
Miami and LA?
Yes, and people in the background screaming, "Oh, daddy," and all kind of stuff. And you're a comedian. You know, it's one of those
now,
things.
He gonna get serious about it because it's heavy on his heart, but then he gonna get comical in the same.
I mean, but you gotta have, if you can't laugh, it ain't something wrong with you if you can't laugh, brother. Because sometimes you gotta laugh to keep from crying. So, but just let me know, guys, what you guys think about some of the stuff that's going on. If you have any questions for us, please call in at 708-223-8888. 8953. I want some of my out-of-town people to call in and in town. 708-223-8953. Let us know what you think about some of the things going on. And we have a special guest here today. But before we get to the guest, the fly guy, why don't you... Oh, yeah. We always trying to educate people and let people know what's out there to help them. There's a lot of things going on with abuse, child abuse. April is Child Abuse Prevention Month. If you don't know that, now you know. It's Child Abuse Prevention Month. So there are hotlines where you can get tips. 1-800-25-ABUSE. That's 1-800-25-ABUSE. If you know anybody that's dealing with child abuse, anybody that's been a victim of child abuse, and you don't know what to say, you don't know what to do, you can call the hotline and you can get the answers and the help that you need, because this is Child Abuse Prevention Month. Let's look at what's going on. And Fly Guy, can you give us some of the stats about child abuse, please?
Yes, sir. So in child abuse cases, there are more than 600,000. That's over 500,000 children that are abused in the U.S. each year. Child welfare authorities ensure the safety of more than 7 million kids. The youngest children are the most vulnerable, and the majority of these cases are done by family members, by parents. They're not strangers. There's not people in the neighborhood that's necessarily trying to abduct children. These cases are being found by parents. Parents are neglecting and abusing their children. So if you know something, if you see something, once again, we talked about being your authentic self and living your true life. Be empowered to speak up and speak out. Be a part of the solution and not a part of the problem. Once again, you can call 1-800-252-2873 and report a case. You can go to childabuse.illinois.gov. We are in the state of Illinois. Once again, that's childabuse.illinois.gov, and help save a child's life.
There you have it. And you guys know I work in education and I've been dealing with the youth for years. This is a thing that's been rampant, and we always thought that it wasn't in our community or weren't happening around us, but it is prevalent in our community. It happens a lot, and these kids need our help. So let's please, if you know anybody that's dealing with this, get them the help they need, get them the information they need, because you can make a difference. So, all right, guys. Before we bring on our guest, we have something that we do, and I like this a lot because it's getting in tune with the people. And this is our person to person. This is when someone writes in to myself and the Fly Guy, and they want us to help them with a situation. They want our insight. They want our intellect. They want our know-how on how to deal with something. So I'm going to read this letter. Okay? So you guys hold on. Y'all know I can't read that good, but I'm going to do my best. All right? Stop laughing, Earl. So here we go. It says, "Dear Real Talk, I enjoy your podcast. I am a committed listener. In fact, I followed Simeon Henderson and Chicago Fly Guy for several years, dating back to the beginning with the Simeon Henderson Talk Show. I must admit, I thrive off of the amazing energy you provide as a connected, dynamic duo. Thank you so much. I feel as though I can benefit from your professional expertise with a challenge I'm currently confronted with involving my 16-year-old son, and I've had a 16-year-old. I heard you both express your passion for working with youth as mentors. I'm a single mom. My son's father always dipped in and out of his life. He never established a solid relationship with my son. At 16, my son, Pierre, is seemingly headed down a path of destruction, led by the wrong crowd. I'm trying to raise my son to be a leader, not a follower. He's now what I will call smelling himself. I recently received an alarming phone call from the police that my son had been arrested for being a disorderly participant amongst a group of unruly teenagers in a local city park. The students decided to cut school, hang out in the park. When the police arrived on the scene, the students were found drinking alcohol and vaping instead of being in school. The authorities were called to the scene in the park because the youngsters were described as loud, threatening, and exhibiting rowdy behavior per witnesses in the park who complained. Although this is considered a misdemeanor, this is not the first time my son has exhibited disappointing behavior, putting himself at risk. My son has to learn that making poor decisions are costly and can alter his life indefinitely. Real talk, please offer help. Is my son becoming the type of child only a mother can love? Signed, single mom in search of a savior for my son. Wow.
Yeah, man.
You love us that much, huh? You want...
Well, you know what? She said, I heard you all refer to yourselves as being mentors and working with you. 16, we know that we all men, we were 16-year-old boys at one time where we all smelled ourselves.
Yes.
So, Simeon, you just said you had a 16-year-old. How would you deal with that?
I had 2 16-year-old boys.
There you go.
Let me tell you like this. Knock them out. No, I'm just...
Somebody call DCFS.
Hey, I'm for real playing. No, seriously. You have to find a male mentor, a male figure that your son can talk to, can hang around, can come under his tutelage, because I'm pretty sure you're a great mother. My mom was a great mom. Sheldon, your mom was a great mom.
Exactly.
Dennis, we've had great mothers, but here's the key. We had great male mentors.
Yeah.
We had those men that were able to pull us up by our bootstraps and by our ear and show us the right way. And you can't be afraid to let someone like us step in to render help. And I'm willing to do it. The Fly Guy is willing to do it, because that's what we do. Not for play, not for talk. We do this for real.
So here's my problem with the letter. My problem with the letter is the father has dipped in and out of this young man's life. Why is it that the father is not stepping up to the plate and doing what he should be doing to help a boy become a man? That's the problem I have with the letter. This is a single mom. She's doing her best. And he has a father that has made a conscious decision to dip in and out. Mm-hmm. As a man, you show up and you accept responsibility. So I think the father needs to learn how to be a man first. And then this boy might be able to become a productive man.
Okay. Eric Lane, what's going on, brother? I see my man Eric Lane out there in Atlanta. He's filming right now. My brother.
And windy.
Hey, cold and windy. Eric, call in, Eric. 708-223-8953. And let me take this call right now, guys. Hey, what's going on? You are on the Simeon Henderson show. Who's calling?
This is Simone Romney, my brother. How are you?
Oh, my God. The legend, the myth, the man himself, Mr. Paymon Romney. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing wonderful. You know, it's always good to see you brothers out there. And, you know, intellectual intercourse is wonderful to have. And so we need more conversations. I just have one small comment in terms of manhood.
Yes, sir.
Did you lose? Okay. You know, part of the struggle that we have now is sort of defining what manhood is.
Yes, sir.
And we have been pushed in so many directions that makes us dysfunctional, because what do we even say to our children? We teach them to not be confrontational. We teach them not to wear their hair the way that it grows. We teach them that they shouldn't be aggressive in terms of their energies. We actually teach them to hide. And then once they're grown, we try to change the course of what they are. And so, you know, we have mentored hundreds of young people since we were teenagers.
Yes, sir.
And it becomes a continuation of what we do. Mm-hmm. But people need to recognize that if everybody could be an educator, we wouldn't have teachers.
True. That's true.
That is a special skill, and so we can't necessarily expect a household to be able to provide that service to their children.
Yes, sir.
What we need are people like you, like what you're doing in terms of giving us a voice.
Yes, sir.
So that we can not only talk, but we can learn from each other and not let our individual problems overtake us because we can see the reflections of the people that have gone before us.
That's what I'm talking
I will
about.
only say, brother, thank you for the call. We can't neglect our responsibilities as men. When we're boys, we make irresponsible or we may act a little immature because we don't know better, so we can't do better. But when we become a man, we have to step up to the plate and accept that which we have established for ourselves. And I think if a father is readily accessible, that father should be in that child's life. This young lady said this man has never established a solid relationship because the father is operating off his own agenda. That's what it sounds like. And so I think that's a disservice. And anytime we do a disservice to youth, we're not leaving and preparing anything for our legacy, and that's a disservice to humanity. That's my.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree with that at all. All I'm suggesting to you is that as you grow in life, the question of what it means to be a man has to be defined. I have a dear friend who separated from his wife, and they both subsequently got married. But one of the things, because he's a musician, so I won't mention who he is. But one of the things that he ended up doing was writing a song called "Can't We Be Friends?"
Okay.
For the sake of the children, can't we be friends?
Right.
Because we have to set those other things aside. And I would suggest a lot of times some of the issues that men have dealing with their children is because of the sour relationship that it develops among the women and them.
True.
And the children suffer as a result of that.
That's a whole other topic, brother. You are so right. So, hey, Paymon, thank you so much for calling in, man. I appreciate you, my brother. I hate that I missed that the big thing you did with all of the authors, the Chicago authors. So whenever you do another one, please let me know because, I got a couple more books that I've done, and I love working with you. You're a treasure to our community. Thank you for all you do, sir.
I appreciate you, brother. You all have a good one.
You too. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
And if you have a person-to-person situationship that you would like Simeon Henderson, the Chicago Fly Guy, to assist you with, send us an email at SimeonHenderson9@gmail.com. We would be happy to offer you our expertise and our advice. Once again, that's Simeon Henderson, the number 9@gmail.com.
And once again, it's that time for us to shed a little light. Remember, guys, you guys can always call in. You can call in and say what's up to myself and the Chicago Fly Guy and give us some love, ask us questions, give us some insight, and let us know what you want to hear. We are here for you. This is Real Talk with the people. We are here for the people. But right now, we are here with a person, a person that a lot of you, I'm sure, know. Real cool guy, man. I've been knowing this guy for a long time, and he's a guy that you can always count on. Not only can you always count on him, but he's a very, very, very talented brother. He's been working in the acting and industry for, I don't know, maybe 30 years, at least 25. At least 25 years, 25 years, and he's been doing a great work. He's gone from taking acting classes to acting in over 100 films to teaching acting. I'm gonna let him tell y'all because I always get the number wrong because it's always growing. But without further ado, guys, I want to introduce you guys to my friend, my brother, the one and only, and we've worked together a number of times. Mr. Harold Dennis is on the Simeon Henderson Show live, everybody. What's up, Harold?
Hello, and hello out there.
So, Harold, let's kick it off, man. First of all, tell the people what intrigued you and made you want to get into acting.
Well, there was a couple things. It was my high school band teacher, mentor, John Watson Sr. He ended up in The Fugitive back in '94. He had lines with Harrison Ford and lived right here in Chicago. I was like, how'd that happen? That was one. And my aunt Marion Roll, she used to do a one-woman show off Broadway in the early '80s and over in Europe, all over Europe. And she ended up doing a one-woman show, 200 performances called Desiree. You know, I wasn't acting, but that was always in the back of my head. And she ended up getting that play turned into a film. And Spike had came on set because it was in New York. And Ernest Dickerson, his cinematographer guy that did Juice, he was the DP on it way back then. And when she passed away in 2020, he sent her a bed of roses to her.
That's cool.
Her funeral, yeah. And so those two things were in the back of my head, and so by 1997, I just jumped in with both hands and both feet. Yeah.
So can you tell us what was the first project you worked on? Do you remember that? Because you've done so many. I'm going back. I know that's like picking a needle out of a haystack.
Yeah, it was a Columbia College student film, and Marissa played my wife in a little short.
Okay, Marissa Woodhouse Baldwin.
Yeah. And around that time, we had started an acting troupe, 1998. It was about 25 of us that religiously met from February 1998 to a year later. And we met every Saturday morning from 10 to 2. And we had Kenny was in it, Carl, Nuke Tracy,
the Kappas.
A bunch of people, Kappas, AKs. I had Alpha, no Sigmas.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was some Sigmas.
Sigma is the sum of all. It has to be some Sigmas.
Hey, and speaking of Sigmas, really quick, I'm sorry, I have to say this. Today is our very own, the Chicago Fly Guy. It's his Sigma-versary. It's his anniversary in the illustrious fraternity of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. Go
Bob!
Happy
Yes.
birthday!
Yeah. So shout out to everybody in the Divine Nine. Everybody in the Divine Nine. Shout out to you guys.
Yep.
All right. Shout out. So let me ask you this. What was your first that first role that you just said, you know what? This is it. This is what I want to do. Like that role that really settled you in.
Oh, thank you for asking. It actually wasn't a role. It was my first day in acting class over at ETA.
Okay.
After that class was over, I says, I'm going to do this the rest of my life.
Okay.
That was 25 years ago.
There you go.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So talk to us about your workshops, because you teach
that was next.
workshops.
Yeah.
Which the Chicago Fly Guy is going to take one.
I have one tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
Tomorrow evening, 7 p.m.
I did
online.
read the James Avery monologue.
That's great.
Yes, I did read that.
Bring it, because the workshops, I studied with this guy named Ted Sarantos for 18 years, every Wednesday afternoon religiously. And it was for free. That's why I stayed with him. I was like, why would I go anywhere and not stay? Because when I sat in his class back in 2003, auditing it, he was videotaping the actor, and he says, nose to the camera, smile in the eye, talk to the microphone, energy out. I was like, I need that.
Yes.
And so after that class, he was like, are you interested in the class? I was like, yeah, I'm interested. He says, well, classes are like blah, blah, blah. I was like, listen, I just moved back to the city, and right now I'm in between jobs. I can help you clean up around here.
Right.
I don't need that. And so I left. 10 months later, he called me and says, come to the workshop. I was like, I'm that same guy that told you 10 months ago I could help you clean up around there. He says, just come on. So I grabbed my kids, and they were little, and we jumped on the Pace bus. We were out in Calumet City. Then took the red line, 2 Pace buses, to the red line, to the brown line. Then we finally landed on the north side in the rain. And so
that was a journey, bro.
That was a journey.
Yes.
But I was like, I'm going to this showcase. And so after it was over, I says, I'm that same guy that says I want to help you clean up around. These are my kids. They're good kids. And he looked at it. And so after enough talk, he says, let me think about it. A week later, he sent me an email saying immediate scholarship. And this was late 03. And I says, well, I'm in 5 community plays, and I'm going out of town for the holiday. He says, come back in the new year. So that first Wednesday in January 7th, 2004, I was in his class, and I had stayed there until he ended the classes after the pandemic, during the pandemic.
Okay.
18 years. And so what he taught that caught my attention was those things. Plus, he taught something I'd never seen before. Like intending dream scene, and instead of intention, what is it that you want? What is it you want the person that you're talking to do? And now, how are you going to play it? What's the opposite? You need a secret? Go. And so it made performances unduplicatable and surprising ourselves and surprising others. And so that's the basis. I mean, I studied the Meisner, 5 levels of that during this time, too. So at one point, I was in 3 classes a week, actually 4 classes, but I was like, this is too much back in 2011, 12, plus living and doing everything else. And so I dropped that 1 class and stayed in those 2 nights of Meisner and TED, and so that was 15 months. And TED class was like 3 hours of class, 3 hours of work. So I spent many Wednesdays for 6 hours there for years. So, that was dedication.
So what's coming up next? What's next?
Everything's around the corner. I just did this little. It's not animation, but it's this shrimp movie. It's a short.
Okay.
The guy that runs the volunteer at the Chicago International Film Festival, he did a short film. He says him and this girl was working as bartenders, and they were surrounded by shrimp one day in this restaurant. It was like, let's do a movie about shrimp.
About shrimp.
And so they actually moved shrimp, in the film, not hands on the screen, but it would move, and they put eyeballs on them and things like that, and real actors communicating with the shrimp. And so I ran into this young lady. I did a student film maybe 15 years ago, and she's a producer on it. And I saw her at the Midwest Film Festival, which I volunteered for 13 years.
A lot of years. A long time.
And monthly. And so I says, what you working on? And she says, I says, keep me in mind when something comes up. And a couple months later, she says, Harold, I got something. And so I just had to do some voiceover. I played Papa Shrimp. And so my son is Shrimpy, and that thing is, Shrimpy is, he's under the sea, and I'm like, come on, son, let's clean the ocean. Let's do what shrimp do. He's like, Pop, I want to go up to the human world. I says, no, you don't want to go up there. I want you to stay with me. He says he wants to go up there because he wants to land under a producer's plate in the restaurant and get discovered and go to Hollywood.
Yeah, he's going to get 8. That's what's going to happen to him.
And he gets up there and finds out they're eating shrimp.
Everybody, this is actor Harold Dennis. Harold Dennis is a jewel. He's been doing grand work here in Chicago and just traveling abroad and teaching. Harold, tell everybody, A, where they can find you at on social media, and B, when your next acting class is and how they can reach you.
Oh, it's simple. Instagram 99, the number 99, 99 films on the wall. You can find me there, and it's Facebook too, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok, and the acting workshops are online, so it's like a 2-hour online workshop, so you can sit there in your living room, your bedroom, as long as you have your camera up face level, turn sideways, so like you're on camera, because I teach acting on camera. I did that at Second City for a couple years, and now I just do it on my own. Okay. And so you're sitting there in your living room with your camera up, and you're doing a monologue. Okay. Just as simple as that. It doesn't have to be memorized.
All right.
All right, everybody. There.
All right, everybody. You have to get into character.
Everybody, that is Harold Dennis. That is Harold Dennis. Everybody's watching. Everybody's listening. This is the Simeon Henderson Show. Real talk with Simeon Henderson and the Chicago Fly Guy on Intellectual Radio and iHeartRadio. You can call in and be a part of the show at 708-223-8953. That's 708-223-8953. To all my people out there in IG land watching, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you call in or leave a comment. And all the people watching live on Facebook and Intellectual Radio, make sure you check us out. And I got to give a shout out to the people on Facebook. I had to tell one of the people, he said, why is it backwards? You know what it is? That's the mirror image. It's the flip of the camera, guys. So that's what that is. So sorry about that. But we're going to keep going. We only got a few more minutes left. And we have a couple more things to talk about. And I want to talk about when life be lifing.
Wow. Unpredictable, chaotic triggers of life. What's your trigger, man?
Hey, you know what? I need you to start on this one because I got to think about it. So, guys, if you guys have a trigger, Call in and tell us what your trigger is. Just tell us what's your trigger. What's your trigger?
Have you said
life be lifey?
When life be life, we all
What's your
say
trigger?
life be life. My trigger is betrayal.
Okay, that's okay.
My trigger is betrayal because I give the best version of me. As we talked earlier, we talked about living your best life and giving the world the best version of yourself. I'm committed. I'm a friend.
Yeah.
I don't use the word lightly.
Right.
You know, I play hard, I live hard, I love hard.
Right.
So when I've been betrayed, that's a trigger for me. In fact, I don't even know if I can come back into that space. I might not be able to hold space with you no more because I'm figuring if you did it once, you'll do it again. And I don't give you a reason to betray me.
Right.
Because I'm all good with everybody I connect with.
Okay, but see, you got to remember this. Everybody's not you.
Everybody is not me, but
no.
everybody deserves to be treated right.
Right, but people make mistakes.
It's
People
one
make
thing.
mistakes.
It's one
No
thing.
one is immune to the trials and
No
tribulations of life.
one is immune.
Come on, man of God.
It's not
Forgiveness.
It's not about
Forgiveness.
So this is what we like to do. The church like to throw out forgiveness. That's what the church
I
likes
just have to do that.
But
and
that's okay.
I might mess up one
That's
day
okay.
and he might not want to talk to me no more. What the hell?
No, that's okay. And I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, I'm not implying that, you know, if somebody wrongs me, that I don't have forgiveness in my heart.
You're talking about like
or
the
that
ultimate betrayal.
I'm talking about betrayal,
Betrayal,
brother.
yeah,
I'm
like-
talking about I trust you with something
Yeah.
and you straight out
Yeah,
wrong
now
me.
that-
And
yeah.
it's okay. We like to throw out forgiveness, but it's okay to say I'm not okay.
And you're right.
it's okay to walk away. Because you walk away and dissolve something
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean that you bitter. It don't mean you holding a grudge. It just means that you know that this is not space for me to hold.
And you're
this
right
ain't
about
healthy
that.
for me.
And you're right about that because if someone betrays your trust, like say if you have a secret or something happened that you don't want anybody to know and you trust your best friend with it or something, they should not tell anybody because that should not get back, right? I get stuff like that. For me, my trigger is not doing what you say you're gonna do. If you
like that father in that letter that's
Yes.
in and out of that young man's life.
in and out, like double Dutch, like double Dutch. He in and out. My thing is, if you're gonna do it, so here's the thing. What I mean, if you say you're gonna do something, do it. But if you can't do it, tell me you can't do it, right?
I can respect
Like
that.
I give a. This is like a small example. Like I'm supposed to be in studio on Tuesdays. If I can't come in, Earl, I tell you, don't I? I say, Earl, I'm not gonna make it, but I'm trying to go live. But I'm just saying that was just small. But the thing is, it starts with little things. Little things lead up to big things. So let me ask you, Harold, what's one of your triggers?
Well, I'm sure I have many of them because sometimes I just get red hot, right?
Right.
And then cap them.
I was about to say,
It's just something. And so I realized that I have to be intuitive and watch who I let around me. You know?
there it is. So
That's what I say. You can't hold space with everybody.
Everybody out there, people watching right now, what's your trigger? What's something that's a deal breaker for you, or something that just ticks you off, or something you can't come back from? Is there something? That's what we want to know. What
Sometimes
is
you
it?
can't rebound, you know. So
My
how
man,
at
Derek, go mob. Derek, what's going on, Derek?
708-223-8953. 708-223-8953. Real Talk Podcast. Simeon Henderson in your Chicago fly guy.
Hey, look.
What's your trigger? Pull that trigger.
So here we go, real quick. Let's go into a little bit of entertainment, real quick. The fly guy. The fly guy loves Beyonce, man.
Hey, that's my
like.
She's a beast.
Anytime I say anything, Earl, anytime I say anything about entertainment, this man talks about Beyonce.
Cowboy Carter,
This
baby.
dude-
Hold him, Texas.
Hey,
Oh my God, yes.
Okay,
so
I'm
first
gonna
off,
let him get this off his chest, y'all, because he got tell us.
oh my God,
Oh, wait a minute.
came
I gotta
out.
say this. So, Earl, the iHeart Awards are coming up too, right?
The iHeart Awards was actually last night.
No, it was Monday.
It was last
Today
night.
is Tuesday. It was last night. Yeah. Okay. The
Yes.
iHeart.
And you're
the
talking
iHeart
about
Radio
the
Music
Innovator
Awards.
Award recipient,
Cowboy Carter.
Beyonce, the Innovator Award recipient. So congratulations to Beyonce.
All y'all in the beehive.
Miss Carter. She received the 2024 iHeart Innovator Awards from the iHeart Music Awards on last night. She came out in a black Versace cowboy suit, leather. She was tight. She looked good. She acknowledged
Jay-Z with
Jay-Z. She acknowledged Jay-Z was there. She acknowledged Jay-Z. She acknowledged her children. She acknowledged Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder played the harmonica on Jolene. She remade Dolly Parton's song, Jolene, and he played the harmonica. And she credited Stevie Wonder with being the one artist that she could listen to indefinitely. But she said it's not a country album, it's a Beyonce album, and she's tributing black women and black people actually in country music. She has tributed several artists in country music.
Let me ask you a question.
That she is giving kudos to, because what happened was Beyonce felt unwelcome to make a country song.
Exactly.
And she came back.
So
I can show you better than I can tell you.
I know, I saw it. It's one of those things where, hey, Negroes, stay where you at. Go on over there.
Exactly.
Go on over there. But she did good. She did her thing. And I got to say this. I meant to say it at the top of the show, and I didn't. Everyone knows that March is National Women's History Month, right?
Exactly.
But we're in April, the second day of April. So we weren't on. Well, we were on briefly, and I just wanted to say one more time. Not only do we recognize and give the women their flowers during March, we
Right.
want to recognize them and give them their flowers all of the time.
Exactly.
So thank you all, women, for doing what you do, for being queens, for being great, and for loving us and the world the way you do. Thank you.
Kudos.
So,
and
thank you.
just to pay homage,
Come on, pay
Linda
homage to Beyonce so we
Martell.
can get out of here.
Linda Martell was a major country star that was overshadowed by white America.
Of course.
And she was silenced.
Of course.
And so
What year was
Beyonce
this?
rebirthed her back in 1974.
Okay, 1974.
And so she's tributing Tanner Adele, Willie Jones, and Tierra Kennedy in her Cowboy Carter album.
Okay.
And so as we acknowledge, you know, we have to tribute and give just due to those that look like us in the industry, that's not assimilating, that's not intimidated or reluctant to live their truth. We spoke earlier about living your truth. You know, when we become public figures and when we become celebrities, and Simeon, you know this, you know, it's always a risk if you want to step out and say Black Lives Matter, or if you want to be a part of the protest, you figure like you're going to be judged or your brand is going to be tainted.
Well, I don't know. I'm not a celebrity, so I wouldn't know.
It doesn't have to do with being a celebrity. It's about being a public figure. You don't have to be a celebrity to be a public figure. When you're in the eye of the public,
am I a public
you're
figure?
in the eye, I would think you're a public
Harold, do
figure.
you think I'm a public figure?
You're here.
Okay.
So you don't think you're a public figure?
I think
you're
I am.
in the eye of the public.
Hey, well,
On
my brother Earl told me I'm probably like a celebrity too.
Well, so then
I mean,
why
when I
are
go
you
in-
questioning what you've already been told and what you already know?
I'm
You're just trying to act modest.
I'm being funny.
You're trying to act modest.
Anybody that knows me, Earl, have I changed? Anybody that knows me, people tell me, they be like, "Oh my God, you're so cool." I'm like, I'm a regular dude.
Oh, stop, little big head boy.
Hey, look.
You want to be a
right.
You're a
I'm a
regular
regular
dude.
dude.
You're a regular dude with a whole lot of amenities.
I am so regular. It is a shame.
Nah,
You're a
I'm
regular
to be as
dude
regular as I
with a
am.
whole lot of amenities.
I still got holes in my socks.
So we're going to talk a little bit about hermeneutic labor. So many of you may or
Well, we
may
gotta
not
touch on
be
that 'cause we gotta get
familiar
there.
with hermeneutic labor. But hermeneutic labor is really attributed to women trying to figure out the emotional feelings attached to men in a relationship.
Oh, we got to do a show on
Hey,
something like
hey.
that. We need to have an expert come in. So here with relationships. I'm using my
Yeah.
my
He tried to get
intellect
serious.
my intellect vernacular.
Nah, he trying to be intellectual
I always
radio show
smile,
off.
but seriously, those things it's a thing.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out the other sex, the men, the women, trying to figure them out and get this thing right. Oh man, that is not easy.
But hermeneutic labor is saying technically that women
are
This
trying
is
to
what
figure
you
us out.
described. Exactly.
Right, that's what I'm
that
saying.
women are trying to understand because men don't always tap into their emotions.
No,
so
yeah.
women are trying to figure out what's really going on.
Okay. So, ladies, if you want to know what's really going on with the fly guy and Harold Dennis, let me know and I'll tell you.
While he's trying to deflect, you really should be talking to him.
That's
This
why
the
I
one
did
with the trigger.
Just
This
take your
the one
claws off her heart.
right,
Exactly.
That's why I did. No, but thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's always fun. It gets better and better, and I think this show is going to continue to grow. And we're giving a voice to the people. I want to give a shout out to all the people that's tuning in. My girl Thea Camaro, Michael Ballard, Davis Higgins, Derek, Shara Harrell, Richie, Jose, Enrique, Mel, Natasha, the list goes on and on. Facebook, Instagram, everybody from all over that's tuning in. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys. We want you to know that you can watch us. Watch the Chicago Fly Guy and Simeon Henderson every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time on Intellectual Radio and iHeartRadio, Facebook, Instagram. Make sure you guys tune in because we are doing real talk and giving a voice to the people. Fly Guy, give them a quick word out so we can, because we're about to hit it. Give them a word
The
of
number
inspiration.
one rule of the 7 rules of life: make peace with yourself so it won't disturb your present.
And I want to tell you this, always believe in you. You have to believe in you without the but. Anything followed by a but is an excuse. I want to win, but I want to start, but I want to do it, but take the but out and understand and know that when you be symbolic, simply your best, you'll walk in your purpose, you'll achieve your goals, and you'll live your dreams, and you'll do the things that you were destined to do. Thank you to my man, Harold Dennis, for coming in, stopping by. Thank you to all of you guys. Thank you to my big brother, Earl Winfrey. We'll see you next week on the Simeon Henderson Show with the Chicago Fly Guy. Peace. Peace.
So hello to Greeks.
What's up, y'all?
What's up, D9?
What's going on?
Go, Mom.
Go Mob. What's up, everybody? What's up, guys? Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. What's going on, bro? Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys. You guys are great. Love you guys. And make sure you guys share. Make sure you guys tune in. If you guys have any questions, you want to do, what is the letter? We do the real talk letter. If you guys want to do the person-to-person letter, you can send it to SimeonHenderson9@gmail.com, and you can give us your story and what you want help with. And this is what it's about. I appreciate you guys. Love you guys. And let's get it. Peace.
You gotta get some pictures, man.
Yes.
You go one.
Oh, wait, here. Hold on.
Hey, Shem, lean in. One, two,
Oh.
If you want with this phone.
okay, Shem. You do another one?
Yeah. Lean in, Phil.
Let's go.
Come on. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I know you'll send it to me.
Yes, sir. And then we need one out by this hour.
Oh.